It's not every day you get to train with a pro runner, right? And get to pick their brains about all things running. And we get to do it, when I've struggled to put my heart rate monitor on, around here on our last day in Perth. And this might give you a clue as to who we're meeting up with. Because he's been on the channel a few times, but pro runner and founder of Bix, Vlad Ixel. So if you don't know who Vlad is, let's introduce you real quick. Vlad's an elite runner living in Perth, Australia. In the past 10 years, his achievements would blow your mind, from winning the North Face 100 in Thailand, second in the 250-kilometre Atacama crossing in Chile, and he's won more races from 10 to 100 kilometres than you can shake a stick at. And he hasn't been injured in 11 years. And as we said before, he's the founder of Bix Hydration. He's been on the channel a few times, and he's a top pro runner, and we love hanging out with him and learning the secrets of his success. And luckily, he's willing to share them too. Pretty exciting, because we've known him for a couple of years, but we've not really met up with him other than one time, so pretty cool. He should be in the lobby round about now, I reckon, or soon. Look who we found. Hey, here's Vlad. Okay, so as I said, Vlad, what I want to know first is, because we're rubbish at warming up, what would you do as a runner before you go on any run? Can you take us through it? That would be great.
Yeah, super easy. Any run, I would spend 5 minutes warming up.
Perfect. Any run at all?
Yeah,
okay, that's good to know, because
as you get older, like used to be just session days, but as you get older, I feel like any run, just 5 minutes, and then I can get going.
All right. So how would you do it?
Yeah, I start super basic. So I go like, I start with my upper body. So I do 10 rounds each way, up and down, while I skip. So it literally takes a minute.
Yeah. So let's start here. The exercises Vlad took us through aren't gonna blow your mind, but they're not meant to. They're easy and repeatable, and they take the body through its range of motion. And remember, static stretching, which is stretching whilst staying still before a run, is not a good idea. So try to stick to drills like this, where you're just getting your body prepared and moving. And it can take 5 minutes, but it can be so valuable to your overall experience. 5 minute warm, oh wait, it turned into a 10-minute warm up because we were talking, but 5 minute warm up done. Now we're going for the run. This is a beautiful run, by the way, and I'm gonna ask Vlad some more questions about how he trains. Everything that I think you would want to know, I'm gonna ask him because I'm nosy. Vlad, you're training for Osaka Marathon at the moment, but you're obviously your bread and butter is trail running.
Yeah.
But what does your kind of week look like structure-wise for your training at the moment?
Yeah, so I'm trying to mix in a bit of trail running and road running. So pretty much Monday, I'll do an easy 60 minutes in the morning. Could be anywhere between 10 and 14K. Then in the afternoon, I'll do a 70-minute run, which is about 16-17K. Tuesday morning, uphill work on the treadmill.
What type of incline are you talking? Like proper incline?
Yeah,
like
18.
Crank it up?
Yeah, 18.
Woo!
Afternoon, I have a group session, which is on the track, and that'll be the classic track workout, 8 times 1K.
At your marathon pace?
I'll be under.
So
there'll be some threshold under threshold pace.
Okay. Wait, can I just get this clear? This is only Tuesday so far.
Yeah, so by that point, you finish that day and I'm already on like 65K.
Yeah, right.
I think what adds up is like when you have the 4-minute warm up.
Yeah.
Sorry, 4K warm up, 4K cool down.
Yes.
So suddenly, it's a long session.
Yeah. Just a little break. Look at that view. So this is one of the most famous runs in Perth. What's it called? The Three Bridges run, or Two Bridges?
The Bridges race.
The Bridges race.
10K Bridges.
How appropriate. So before we get going, what would your Wednesday look like? We've got to Tuesday. What about your Wednesday? You're at 65K already.
Yeah, so Wednesday would be a 70-minute run,
yeah,
and a 45-minute run.
Okay, so double run day again.
Yeah, double run day. One of them will be elevation, one will be flat because I'm doing the marathon. Thursday I'll do a 90-minute run.
Yeah.
So this morning I did a trail run for 90 minutes. Next week I'll probably do a road run for 90 minutes.
Got you.
And then, and then in the evening I would do a 10K, which we are doing now anyway.
Yes. So how many days do you double run? Most? Six days double.
Only because I want to get enough elevation, enough road running.
Yeah.
So it becomes a bit of a challenge.
Yeah,
and then Sunday, it would be the long run. Sorry, Friday would be double session day. So uphill work in the morning.
Yeah.
Flatter run, a threshold workout.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, another double, usually 70 minutes, 16K and a 10K.
Wow.
Yeah, heads up.
Your body's in good shape.
Yeah, long run would be 2 hours to 2.5 hours.
So you do it on time rather than distance because you go out on the trails?
Yeah, so I'll do them on trails.
So do you drive out to get to the trails, like the hills?
It's a half-an-hour drive from...
And I know what you're thinking because I was thinking it too. How does Vlad stack these high volume 180 kilometer weeks? There's got to be more to it than double run days, good warm-ups and mixing trails and roads. And there was. And it's a game changer.
So what you're saying, or from what you've described, Vlad, you're talking about stacking up, as you were saying, 180 kilometer weeks essentially, right?
Yeah.
Which is what you built to, of course, over a lot of years. But I think what lots of people would like to know is, in terms of how do you stay in the game and how you recover?
Now, before we go into what I think is the biggest secret to Vlad's success, here's a few other things I got to understand about how Vlad has stayed uninjured and running so well for 11 or more years. Firstly, his diet is clean, like super clean. He's vegan, but more importantly, he's disciplined enough to avoid poor nutritional decisions that we all sometimes make. It was really clear to us that he fuels himself really well with natural, unprocessed foods that align with him as a person. No alcohol either. He also prioritizes his recovery, dedicating good amounts of his day to things like foam rolling, massage guns, and general activities that help avoid turning tightness or aches into injury. And the same with strength and conditioning, he invests in it. And what inspired us was that this is not beyond the everyday amateur runner. The things he does are as accessible for us as they are for him. We just have to want to do it. But perhaps our biggest takeaway was yet to come.
All right, Vlad, this is the bit I'm the most interested in because you've been so consistent as a runner for so long. And I struggle with all sorts of tightness, all sorts of injury. So what kind of things do you do to keep yourself in the game, like mobility-wise?
Yeah, I think mobility, personally, is more important than stretching.
Yeah.
I think a lot of runners get injured because the joints are just not mobile enough. So if your feet are tight, are stuck, you'll see today, they are.
Yeah.
That means that you're not getting enough blood flow to your calves, hamstrings, and then there's just a problem after a problem. So once the joints are loose, especially like your hips and your feet as a runner, you should not have any pains or injuries. And for me, knock on wood, it's been 11 years with no injuries.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing. And that's why I'm very keen to find out how you do it. Okay, let's learn.
So while Vlad ran us through his post-run mobility workout, let me explain some of the things that he was talking to us about during. And the first is that he does also stretch if he has time, but he prioritizes the mobility work. And these are all exercises that he's built up over time. He took a really interesting approach to finding the exercises because he decided to look at where the money is invested. So sports like football, which some of you might call soccer, American football, basketball, lots of sports that invest heavily at the top level in the science of keeping their athletes healthy, strong and uninjured. Then he just worked out which exercises or ideas could be transferable to running. Lots based around keeping joints flexible, so here we did a lot of work on the ankle and hip joints rather than stretching a muscle. He's really done a lot of scientific research and taken his own health seriously. As he says, not running isn't an option. And there are a lot of strengthening and mobility videos on Vlad's channel, so you're going to have to check them out too.
So how often do you do that? You just told me, but how often do you do that?
Every single day.
Every single day, 30 minutes a day of work.
I mean, obviously some days I have a bit less time, so I might do 10 minutes or 5 minutes, but I make sure that I do it every single day. And the last thing you want to do is miss a day.
Yeah.
So I'll try not to miss 2 days in a row.
That's what I always think about, the difference between amateur runners and runners that do this for a living is that you really prioritize everything on top of running more to make sure that you can continue running.
Yeah, I mean, like we said off camera, getting injured is just not an option, so I do everything just not to get injured.
We're learning a lot here, I think, I feel.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about myself.
Yeah, I mean, running is about, like, if you're willing to sacrifice, the more you're willing to sacrifice, the better you're going to do as a runner.
Yeah.
And it's obviously the training is a big part of it, but it's those little things around running, mobility, the sleep, the diet, you know, all those
Prioritize. So Vlad, I just want to say on behalf of Mary and I, thank you so much for coming to train with us. First of all, it was awesome. I feel like we've learned a lot about ourselves and our own running journey via yours.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for coming to Perth.
Yeah, man, what a beautiful run, what a beautiful city.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
I'm buzzing.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome. Such a good run. Vlad's such a good dude. So thanks, Vlad, if you're watching this, which I'm hoping you are. So I feel like we just learnt a bunch. Like,
I am so inspired.
we learnt a good warm-up. We learnt about how Vlad trains in the week. We learnt a really good cool down that's much more mobility based than stretching based.
Yeah, like a 15-minute mobility routine that we could do every day. And oh my goodness, I could feel it.
Yeah, what we realise is we stretch in very defined parameters, so we're flexible only in the exact bit that we stretch, whereas that was much more movement based.
That was joint mobility for the hips, really getting the blood flow going, which could be game changing for us.
But you know what I took away from all of that?
What?
Is that Vlad is very disciplined, very inspirational, you know, takes his running seriously, but takes his recovery and takes his health and takes his general life seriously. So, and I think that's something that we could all do, watching, you know, those of you watching the channel and us, to level ourselves up. And it's something that we always bang on about, that running is not just about running. And if we want to stay in the game long term, we've got to level up on a number of ways.
Yeah, he said about the choices you make, you've got to think about how they're going to make you feel in the long term, and is it worth it, those decisions you make around diet, around things you choose in your life. So that is, I'm going to hold on to that.
So thanks, Vlad. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you got something out of watching how a professional runner conducts themselves. We certainly did. And if the video brought you any value whatsoever, then consider subscribing to the channel, and also go find Vlad's channel and subscribe to him, and on Instagram where you can learn more. And if you liked the video, you're probably going to like this one, which was when Mary trained like Anya Culling for a week, which was another one of our experiments, finding out how an elite runner conducts themselves and trains. Thanks for watching. See you Sunday.